You know, when you walk into like a massive sports bar and there's that giant glowing wall of perfectly synchronized TVs, you probably assume there's just some guy in a back room pointing 100 plastic remotes at the wall.
Right, yeah.
But the reality is actually this unseen, almost military-grade AV matrix operating right over your head. So today we are taking a deep dive into the hidden infrastructure of the commercial audio-video world.
It is really fascinating. We are unpacking a single device from a company called HDTV Supply. It is the Vitec AVPLY M9405.
Yeah, and the specs on this thing are wild. I mean, it delivers 4K UHD video via HDMI. It has 32 gigs of built-in storage. And the craziest part is it runs entirely on the 802.3 AF standard.
Which is otherwise known as PoE, or Power over Ethernet.
Right. So to visualize PoE for you listening, just imagine trying to drink a vanilla milkshake and eat a giant cheeseburger simultaneously by, like, sucking both of them through the exact same straw.
That is a very specific image.
I know, right? But it's like one single cable magically pushing both the high-speed data stream and the electrical power to turn the device on at the same time.
Yeah, a slightly messy visual, but mechanically it works. Think of it more like a subway tunnel. The trains are the high-speed 4K video data rushing back and forth. But running along the exact same tunnel wall is the electrified third rail powering the whole system.
Oh, that makes sense. One cable serving a dual purpose.
Exactly. In a commercial setting, that means you bypass the need to hire licensed electricians to install standard AC electrical outlets behind like 160 separate televisions.
Wait, okay, I get wanting to avoid all that electrical work and cable clutter, but why do you need a dedicated piece of hardware like this M9405 for every single TV? I mean, couldn't you just daisy chain them all together?
You would think so, right? But daisy chaining actually degrades the signal. When you are running 160 screens, even a 1-second synchronization delay just completely ruins a live sports broadcast.
Oh, yeah, because half the room would cheer before the other half even sees the play happen.
Exactly. So instead of running 160 fragile HDMI cables back to a central closet, which is physically impossible over those distances anyway, this AV over IP setup turns video into standard network data.
Right.
So that Vitec box just sits on the local network, grabs its specific data packet, and translates it back to video in real time.
Which completely explains a very specific detail we saw on this product page.
Right.
Because you literally cannot buy just one of these players.
Yeah, they strictly sell them in batches of 10 to 99.
Which immediately tells us this is not meant for a living room.
No, definitely not. That volume tells you everything you need to know about the target market. If you look at HDTV Supply's navigation menus, they are outfitting massive sports bar TV systems.
Like capable of linking up to 160 TVs?
Exactly. We're talking about a catalog with over 2,000 different HDMI modular matrix switchers. And they're backed by strategic partnerships with enterprise giants like Dell, Bose, and Canon.
But isn't it wild that behind a simple, fun night out at a sports bar, there is this intense, almost military-grade network of switchers and AV over IP players?
It really is. That unseen complexity is exactly what makes modern entertainment possible, though.
But here's the thing. You would think a system handling 160 simultaneous 4K streams with that kind of enterprise backing would have some sort of self-healing AI when things go wrong.
You would think.
Right. But looking at the user reviews, the entire backbone of this network is actually held together by incredibly unglamorous human IT support.
It really is the central irony of B2B infrastructure. I mean, you can spend thousands on complex matrix switchers, but success basically comes down to a phone call.
Yeah, like out of their 10,000 plus positive reviews, there's this one from a user named John M. And he gave them 3 stars strictly because the staff was less than friendly but answered my question.
Less than friendly but answered my question is just peak IT support energy.
It so is.
Contrast that with another reviewer, Hopkins, who cheerfully left 5 stars because a rep quickly walked him through a basic 4K to 1080p resolution mismatch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Even with high-end, complex B2B gear, the most valuable troubleshooting tool is not an algorithm. It is dialing 833 Wolfpack and just getting a human on the line.
So the next time you are out and you see a massive wall of perfectly synced TVs, you will know exactly the kind of AV over IP hardware and occasionally gruff tech support running the show behind the drywall.
It definitely shifts your perspective on how fragile these massive digital ecosystems really are.
It does, and it leaves you with something a bit bigger to ponder, too. I mean, if a highly advanced commercial media network ultimately relies on a simple human phone call to function perfectly, how vulnerable is our increasingly automated global infrastructure to a simple lack of basic customer service?
That is a great question.
Something for you to chew on next time you are out.